Man, we ain't done working yet, man. This Gamepoint podcast, man. Man, I feel bad about the month of May or the past month in Hollywood, man. It's been April and May, man. We only delivered 2 shows, man, in 4 weeks, man. That's our bad, man. But we coming here to let you know, man, that we gonna put in some overtime, man. Not every game is finished, man, within the first during the time of regulation, man. You know, we missed the Gamepoint shot, man, but we gonna win it in overtime, man.
Bonus ball. Extras.
And this is a little new segment we're gonna try out, man, called OT, man, overtime, man. And we wanted to touch upon, man, a hot topic this week, man. A video was dropped by Childish, Gambino, Donald Glover, man. This is America, and not only was the song good, but it was a powerful message behind the video, man. We just wanted to briefly discuss it. Chris, man, did you enjoy the song? Did you enjoy the video?
I did enjoy the song. I think it's got a sneaky little rhythm to it, and before you know it, you'll be bobbing your head and just listening to the song casually. But then when you take a deeper listen and you pair it up with the visual that Gambino geniusly paired it together with, I think that it opens up a whole new world of meaning for you that we kind of been illuminating a little bit on to Pops here, trying to bring him up to speed. But I thought it was an extremely conscious piece that kind of challenged everybody to just wake up. We talk so much sometimes about being woke, and it's so many things that we focused on in today's times, how not to get played in these relationships, or, how to get some money fast. They say millenniums want everything at once. We all caught up in the rat race, but what I think that sometimes we lose sight of is, like, we are people, and we put here together, and how much we the people gotta matter, not our own private little missions or whatever rat race that we've engaged and chosen for our own lives, but just like people, we the people in general, we matter. It's lives being made and lost every day. We got to invest some time and some energy and some intention to that. It's all significant. It all means something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even gonna get into, all the symbolism that he used for the public agenda. And, that entails gun laws, public violence. We've seen so many public shootings and, mass shootings and murder. We don't even necessarily have to go into all of that detail of it, but just that I think the greatest message that I took is that people matter. You discussed and you even talked about how even individual, just the care that they used with the gun after opening up an assault on people, and then just like, bodies just kind of just being dragged away, dismissed.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Today's society has become so desensitized, and I think a lot of the fact that we've become so desensitized because we aren't feeling the real things, because we aren't paying homage to the things that truly matter. You know what I'm saying? The children, the future, ourselves, our education, our families, loved ones, the progression of mankind as a whole. I'm talking about these third world countries. I'm talking about, why all this gluttony that we, and myself included, I'm not, outside of this, that we engage in and indulge in, and there's people starving all over the world. People matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not black lives, not white lives, not money. People matter.
Exactly. Pops, I know we just showed you the video right before. He hadn't seen it. He didn't see it before today. I guess, what is your perspective on this conscious this conscious knowledge coming out of rappers? You was a big fan of Tupac, man, and he definitely had a lot of messages that he tried to deliver,
no doubt.
to try to speak to the people, especially to our culture, just to, hey, I know changes, you got to change your life in a lot of ways, man. We got to eat better. We got to live better. We got to treat each other better. Do you respect the message coming from the rappers, or does it need to come from somewhere else?
No, I like the positive messages. I enjoy them. Anything positive, anything you can get across, the meaning, get you thinking, I think is good. Big hip hop fan, Tupac was my guy. But I'm all for messages to get you thinking, get you moving better, get you energized, get you motivated just to be better.
Just anything with a purpose.
Yeah, getting us to be better at being better. I'm for it. So no problem with it. This I won't be able to too much comment on this video you guys just had me watch because I'd have to watch it several times. You know, sometimes I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, so I'd have to check it out a few times, and then I could probably give you my perspective on it next week after I've checked it out. I like to, these artistic things, I like to look at a few times.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Just the type of creativity that he employed, what do you think about that? Obviously, he used a lot of different symbolism and things like that. It's very sophisticated, no?
Yeah, the imagery definitely got you thinking. And like I said, I'd have to. I want to look at it a few more times before I really comment on it. But there seemed to be a lot of symbolism in it. Mm-hmm. It's going to have to, probably a lot of meanings can come from it. But like I said, I'd like to check it out a few more times before I really gave my opinion on it.
I just said all that to draw to your attention. I feel like back in the day when you found songs with a message, it was more direct. And things were kind of spoken more directly at you. You know what I'm saying? You were told directly about hard times. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And what it yielded. And maybe even if you were listening to an MC like Tupac, how you could change. I think now the message, due to both the audience that's actually trying to receive it, I think those people have become a little bit more sophisticated. And not just, I think the way that artists want to get things across now, it's a different kind of, it's just a different kind of creativity out there. And I said all that to say, I think oftentimes that energy, that raw creative energy, especially when it's coming from, a millennial, oftentimes it can be misconceived by older generation or older person. Not all the times are y'all able to necessarily read through the lines and receive something the way that we receive it. So that's why I just thought your take and how you necessarily felt about the brand of creativity, not necessarily everything that it outlined in detail, but just how it was that he was going about it. I think it's important that we draw attention to it and put emphasis on it as we try to find a better way to not just bridge some of the gaps between us as people, but in between us and generations and an age. I think that's another gap that is kind of widened, as the millennials, as we come of age and we start to get older and we are adults and we working alongside, older people. Mm-hmm. And, you just start to really share the workforce with them. And share, just in living with them. You no longer a kid no more. We young adults. So you starting to deal with them more and more on an adult-to-adult basis in the way that we see things, the way that we perceive things, the things that we want, and how we feel they should come. They're a lot different. Mm-hmm. So to try to bridge that gap, I just thought I would express that, for anybody looking to try to just, understand where a younger somebody, significant other is coming from in their life. It is. The messages, they come a little bit different. They branded a little bit different. The way things are, sold us and propagandized to us, throughout our generation. And as we came up, they're different. So I thought it was interesting, just the way that he chose to go about it. And I just implore everybody to take a look at it because this is a guy who he truly is a tastemaker and he's a culture maker for our generation. He's doing a lot of different things to try to shed some light just on, how it is that we live in.
And he did it at such a moment. Now, for his life and what's going on now, obviously it's a lot of things going on now. And with the internet, you get to see a lot of it. But him as an individual, he's probably at the biggest
platform
and his career. You know what I'm saying? He's in a Star Wars solo movie. You know what I'm saying? You know who that's gonna touch a billion people.
Right.
He was on SNL this past weekend. And, to be able to send out a message like that, when, you know, people are like, hey, we don't need that right now from you. You know, it's big. You know, it shows a lot of guts and it shows a lot of character within him.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. He got a lot to lose.
Yeah.
At a time like this, and
Exactly.
he went for the gusto with
And
all eyes on him.
And, you know, he's on his second season of Atlanta, so, you know what I'm saying, you know, the culture is really behind him. And, you know, a lot of, for people who didn't know who he was, because there's still a lot of people who don't know who he is just because of his style. You know, he's definitely.
Yeah, because I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he's a different type of cat, you know.
Right.
And you know him from different reasons. I remember even on SNL, he said, I mean, he made jokes. Some people know me from this. Some people know me from this. You know, my black people know me from Atlanta. You know, like, that's what different people know him from different reasons, you know.
Right.
I think this video here, he's able to talk to everybody just because it is something that's going on in America with the gun violence and just and since everything is seen on the news on a daily basis and people see it daily in their lives, you know, this isn't just on the news. This is real life. You know, people see people get shot. So it's just for him to do it right now, I thought it was big. You know, to be on SNL, to be in a Star Wars movie and still reach back and say, hey, this is what's going on in my culture, and I just want to let everybody know.
And I think it's so important. Not my bad, Dad. It's not to mean to cut you off, but as we recognize the message and the energy and the awareness that Danny Glover really tried to put out there, Childish Gambino, Danny Glover, the message that he tried to put out there and awareness that he's trying to stimulate with this piece, This Is America. We have to make all things applicable to drive us forward. And I just want to say in my own life, looking at it, I know that, you know, it was a time once I became old enough to really understand the significance of things that were going on and all the trauma and the violence that was going on around me and being broadcasted to me, you know, through various media outlets, whether it be television or the internet or what have you. It all became so much, I needed to take a break from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that break kind of became a lifestyle because there's so many other things to fill up your day with, fill your attention span with, so many other things that, you know, we've built up to a level of significance that they just absolutely do not deserve. And I'm talking about the clothes and the cars and all the superficial things and just all the BS that we pay so much attention to, you know. And I think especially if you black or you're a minority, you know, so many of those things, they just seem like just bad news for you. You know what I'm saying? You go on and the positive things that may or may not be happening, they got nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, they aren't really for you. And in the negative things, they're targeted at you. They're for people that look just like you, that live where you live. You wanted to take a break from that. You know what I'm saying? Now we flip the script, and all we do is indulge in self things and superficial things. We have to take a break from those things now. We have to take a break from superficial things. We got to take a break from the Instagrams and the Twitters, and we got to sit back and we got to focus on things that are real now. At one point where they may have been the focal point and it was almost like too much to handle, things were so bad, now they're no longer the focal point, and it's almost like they're an afterthought. You know, these children, these kids, you know, being so disturbed and you know, so feeling so victimized and so lost in life and in this world that, you know, ultimately they're exterminating people. You know, I said it a bunch of times before. I just got to say it again. People matter, and we got to start tuning back into the things that are truly significant and that'll last a lifetime. Because when somebody's lost, you know, when a child is made, when a life is lost here, man, that matters. Yeah. That alters things. So we got to put that, we got to find time to put those things back at the forefront, especially, you know, if you are a minority, and not just my minorities too, but, you know, even if you are the majority and you understand how wrong things are, we have to stay woke, and we can't fight that awareness, and we can't fight, you know, the hurt that's truly going on. We got to recognize it, and we have to take things and make them applicable to our own life to be better. And we got to believe that the change starts with us. So, you know, I said all that to say I just think that's the message that I took from Gambino in this piece. And you know, like I said before, too excited. If you got anything you want to chime in and say or add to this discussion, you know, reach out to me at Boy Wonder, BOI, the numeral 1, DURR, and that's both for Instagram and Twitter. Hit me up. Let me know something. Let's have a discussion, because I mean, this really is important.
Any last words, Pops?
I'm out on this one.
Man, he better take a nap, man. This Gamepoint podcast, like I said, this is a new segment we want to do, man. Email us, man, or Chris has his social media, or you can email us at jfproductions1958@gmail.com.
Or leave comments right on the podcast. We definitely read those, and we looking out for any feedback. And you know, we want it. So definitely holler at us. You know what I'm saying? Gave you 4 quarters. This here is overtime. And I still got Game Point. Holla.